People always talk about Madrid and Barcelona, but Spain's third largest city kind of flies under the radar. And once you're here, you wonder why that is. Valencia has beautiful beaches, amazing weather, a historic center, and some of the best food in Spain. It is the home of paella after all. So the real question is Valencia one of the best cities to visit in Spain right now? Let's explore the city and find out. This building behind me is the Valencia Cathedral. The building we're seeing today was built in the 13th century, but before that, this cathedral was also a Roman temple and a mosque. So the architecture style is mixed between the three of these buildings. And more than just a cathedral, inside this building you can see the Holy Grail, or what Catholics believe is the cup that Jesus drank from during the Last Supper. It's around €9 to go in and visit the cathedral, and you can also climb the tower up there and see a 360-degree view of the city. We are currently on top of the bell tower here in the cathedral, and it costs €3 to go up, and it's 207 steps up in a spiral staircase. It's kind of a workout, I'm not gonna lie, but it's worth it for this beautiful 360-degree view of the city. From up here, you get a much better sense of how Valencia is laid out. The historic center is actually quite compact. All of these narrow streets and buildings you see are part of the old town, and most of it still follows the original medieval layout. You can also spot some of the city's main landmarks from here, like the market, the silk exchange, and the old gates to the city. And then, in the distance, you start to notice something completely different: the City of Arts and Sciences. It stands out immediately because it's much more modern and almost completely separate from the historic center. And that contrast is a big part of what makes Valencia feel so unique. We are right next to the cathedral in a building that's called Lonja de La Seda. It used to be a silk market here in Valencia at the time when the city was one of the wealthiest ones in the Mediterranean. And now it's a museum, and it's a symbol of Gothic architecture, and you can come and visit, and you pay €2, and you can visit both the outside gardens, which is filled with these beautiful trees, and inside, which we will check out right now. Nowadays, this building is a UNESCO heritage site, and the architecture here is really beautiful. You can see that these columns behind me look like palm trees. They're really unique, and the building actually represents the wealth of the city in the 15th century, and it's a really beautiful place. It kind of looks like a church, but it's not. just across from the Silk Exchange building is this place right here. This is the Central Market of Valencia, and it is one of the biggest indoor markets in Europe. It is a huge building from the 20th century, and it's filled with different food stalls with so many different options. There are fruits, vegetables, meats, and besides the food stalls here, there are also some restaurants in the market where you can eat local food like paella, jamon, try some local sandwiches. And even though this is a tourist attraction, you see actually a lot of locals here shopping for food. So it is a mix of tourists and locals here, and you can find a lot of different stuff. Just if you want to visit, make sure to pay attention to the time it closes, because it opens at 7:30 in the morning and it closes at 3. So yeah, make sure to come during the day.
So I got a sandwich with jamon pata negra, and this is one of the premium jamons here. And this sandwich costed 10 euros, which is expensive. But you can also get a one for 2.50, 5 euros. They have different prices. So price range start from like 2 euros for a small sandwich to, I don't know, maybe 20 euros. Depends on the age and the type of the meat. So let's check it out. The bread is really fresh, and this jamon is really good. Can recommend. We also have a lot of fruits, a big variety of different fruits and juices. So we got orange mango. It's really good. It's a bit sour, but it's freshly squeezed and has a lot of vitamins. And the price was 3 euros for this glass.
Valencia is actually home of the paella, and although outside of Spain we usually see seafood paella, here, at least in Valencia, paella valenciana, the traditional one, is made with rabbit and chicken. But they also have seafood paella here, but they tend to call it seafood rice, and they have different types of what they call rices instead of paellas. And we grabbed some on the market. Mine is a vegetable rice, so it's like a veggie version of paella. Not the traditional one, but let's try. Yeah, it's really good. It has different vegetables. Really tasty rice. It kind of tastes a bit like it has saffron in it. Yeah, definitely recommend it.
So today we decided to get some food from the market and to try something traditional and local. So I got paella. Mine is red. As you can see, it has seafood, it has some shrimps, it has calamari, some mussels, and it's pretty fresh. So they make a lot of them, and a lot of people come there to take it. Yes, it's not served as in restaurants in a nice place, whatever, but it's fresh and I hope tasty. So let's try. It's really good. The taste is rich and it has a lot of seafood in it. So I can definitely recommend to try it there from the market.
Another cool thing about the market is that they have a lot of fresh fruit and they make freshly squeezed juice. This one that we have is orange and pineapple, and they also sell these little fruit salads. We paid 3 euros for the fruit salad and 3 euros for the juice. One thing you see all over the city is a drink called horchata. This is one of the most iconic places to try this drink. It's Horchateria Santa Catalina, but you can find it everywhere in the city because this drink kind of became synonymous with Valencia. This drink can actually be traced back to ancient Egypt, and it came here on the 8th century to Spain. But over time, it's become a sort of symbol of Valencia. It's made of tiger nuts, and it's kind of like a nutty milk drink. So to me, at least, it tasted a bit like almond milk. It's really sweet, and the way they eat it is they dip like a pastry called farton into the horchata, and then you eat the pastry and drink it. Here we bought the horchata for 4 euros and the farton for 1.55. Another drink you come across here is something a little stronger. That's Agua de Valencia, and despite the name, it's not water. It's a cocktail made with freshly squeezed orange juice, cava, vodka, and gin. The drink was originally created in the 1950s here at Café Madrid. And while you can still have the cocktail at the bar where it was created, you will also see this all over town, often being served in a jug to be shared like sangria. Over time, this drink became one of the most well-known local specialties, and it makes sense because oranges are everywhere in Valencia. You will see orange trees all over the city, along streets and parks. They've basically become a symbol of Valencia. This is El Carmen, the oldest neighborhood of Valencia, and it's between two medieval walls, and this behind me is one of the two surviving gates that were part of these walls during the medieval period. People would come through these gates to come into Valencia, so these were part of the protection of the city, so to speak. Now you can go up to this one here to see a 360-degree view. But this neighborhood is also famous for the independent cafes, street art. It's kind of like a hipstery area of the city. People come here also for the nightlife, which is really vibrant here in this area. You can see that this gate is a little bit damaged from all these centuries of history, and you can see there holes. Those are cannon holes from the Napoleonic Wars. One of the most unique things about Valencia is this garden. This is called the Turia Garden, and it's a huge park here that runs through 9 kilometers in the middle of the city. But the unique thing about this is that this used to be a river that ran through the city, but after there was a flood in the 1950s, the government decided to deviate the river to outside of the city, and then this, where we're standing now, is what used to be the riverbed, and it was turned into this park. And that's why today you can see that there are actually a bunch of bridges running through the park, because this used to be a river. One of the best ways to see the park is renting a bike. You see a lot of people here riding their bikes because it is a really long park. It goes through a huge part of the city, and you can rent bikes here, or there are also a lot of hotels that offer bike rentals. So that's a tip. Get a bike and come see the garden. At the end of the Turia Gardens is this place. It's the City of Arts and Sciences, which is a huge complex with different museums. There is an aquarium here, there is a sort of opera house theater, there is a science museum. It is a really beautiful and very unique looking complex. The architecture is very modern here. And you can either go into the museums if you want, or you can just walk around here and enjoy this beautiful place. And it's very different from the city center, which is super historic and old. And this is a huge contrast to that. From above, you can see how each part of the complex is laid out. The entire complex was designed by the Spanish architect Santiago Calatrava and built between the late 90s and early 2000s. And some of the designs are inspired by nature. The IMAX cinema was designed to look like a human eye, and in the evening the water around it reflects the whole building. The Science Museum is often compared to the skeleton of a whale, with these repeating white structures along the roof. The Opera House is one of the most complex buildings here, with multiple performance halls inside, all stacked within that outer shell. And the aquarium, which you will see later, was designed separately and focuses on different marine ecosystems from around the world. The entire project was quite controversial when it was first built, but today it's become one of the most recognizable parts of Valencia. The Science Museum in the City of Arts and Sciences is a bit different from a typical museum because it's designed to be interactive. So instead of just looking at the exhibits, you're actually encouraged to touch things, try things out, and experiment. Inside, there are sections that focus on topics like space, the human body, technology, climate, and how different natural systems work. It's also a really popular place for families. There are areas specially designed for kids with simpler experiments and activities that make learning feel more like playing for them. One of the most popular places here at the City of Arts and Sciences is the aquarium, which is called the Oceanographic. As you move through it, each section feels completely different. You go from Mediterranean waters to tropical oceans, from Arctic environments to deep, dark parts of the sea. It's really beautiful to see all these different animals and to learn about them. But one of the things I found most interesting here, and something that's easy to overlook, is that this place isn't just for visitors. The Oceanographic is also involved in rescue and conservation work, so if you ever come across an injured marine animal in the Valencia region, you can call their emergency number, which is 112, and the Oceanographic will go rescue them, treat them, and release them back to the wild. This is the largest aquarium in Europe. It is really big. There are thousands of different species from around the world here. If you want to visit it, the tickets cost around 40 euros per person, but the prices vary on the day. And I would recommend buying your ticket online first because it gets really crowded here. One of the best things about Valencia is that it mixes city life with the beach. We are in Malvarrosa beach, which is the most popular beach here. There are some other beaches here in the city of Valencia, but there are many more outside of the city within the region of Valencia. This place gets really crowded during summer, but we are here in April, so that's why it's not that popular right now. It's still kind of cold to swim. But still, this is a great place to come to just walk around, enjoy the sunrise or the sunset. And there are some amazing cafes and restaurants around here where you can enjoy a food or drink while looking at the sea. morning, the beach feels much more peaceful. There's barely anyone here, just the sound of the waves and a few people starting their day. And it feels a bit more local than touristic. Since Valencia faces east, you can actually watch the sun rise over the sea from here. The light at this time is really soft and warm, giving everything that orange glow. It's a simple thing, but really sets the tone for a calmer start of the day. Tonight we're gonna watch a flamenco show, and while flamenco is closely associated with Spain in general, it's actually a regional tradition here from Andalusia, which is where Seville is, and that's not where Valencia is. But even though it is an art from a different region of the country, you can still find some flamenco shows here as well as in Madrid and Barcelona, because it is after all a tourist attraction. So let's check it out. Flamenco is made up of three main elements: singing, guitar, and dance. A lot of it is improvised, and the rhythm comes from clapping and the footwork of the dancers. The movements are very precise, but the performance itself feels very raw and emotional. Flamenco developed through a mix of cultural influences, especially from Romani communities, combined with Moorish musical traditions that had been present in Spain for centuries. Originally, it was performed in small, informal settings, and it was a way for people to express emotions, identity, and everyday struggles. And you can still feel that in the performance today. Valencia is a city of contrasts. There's the historic city center, futuristic architectures, there's huge green spaces, the beach, and even though it is a major city, it doesn't feel chaotic or overwhelming here. It's actually a very chill city. I definitely recommend visiting it, especially if you're coming to Spain. It's very easy to come here from different Spanish cities. And let me know if you visited Valencia and what was your favorite thing about this city. If you have some tips and recommendations, let me know. And if you like the video, subscribe to the channel.